2009. And he said, I was really worried, would I have a job? And Frank Vandersloot came in and he said, listen, don't worry. He did an impromptu presentation to all of the employees in the company. And he said, listen, we know that people are losing their jobs throughout the world, throughout the United States, but I give you my word that you're not going to lose yours. I give you my word that if you show up and you work hard, and he's going to make you work hard, that you won't lose your job. Melaleuca has never had a layoff. You understand? Think about that for a second. If there are any companies to invest in right now, and I'm not giving you financial advice, but you look at Exxon, you look at Chevron, and those companies are telling you they are going to secure their dividend. So if you buy the stock, they're going to pay you 8%, 7%, whatever it is to hold the stock. And you know what they've done? They've said, we're going to make sure that we will pay you that dividend, even if we have to fire our people. And that's what they do. They fire their people. And that's a whole other deal. Melaleuca's never had a layoff. They guarantee that they'll pay out over 51% of all product points every single month to all their marketing executives. This is big stuff. So you want to join an MLM company that just got started, that been around for 2 years, that doesn't manufacture their own stuff, and they're manufacturing it the cheapest bidder someplace in Taiwan or China? I don't know how well you sleep at night. How about a company that has a proven management team? This is important for us. I did not want to get involved with a company that was run by some distributors, some salespeople, some ex-MLM CEOs. Why would I follow those folks? What experience do they have in running an actual company? What tough decisions have they ever made during recessions? How do they operate under pressure and stress? What happens when the Attorney General calls those companies without a proven management team? Like Nu Skin did not have a proven management team. I saw what happened. They cracked. They fell apart. By the way, before I got started with Melaleuca, I knew that the Attorneys General of Michigan were after Nu Skin. I called the Attorneys General in the state of Michigan, Frank Kelly's office, and I said, hey, have you ever heard of a company called Melaleuca before? They said, well, yes, we have. I said, you have? They said, yes, we have. I said, really? They said, yes. I said, well, what do you know about them? They said, well, we just closed our investigation with the company. I said, what do you mean your investigation with the company? They said, well, that's all we can tell you unless you want the documents. I said, okay, well, how do I get the documents? I paid a few dollars. They sent me the documents. I had the documents. This is the interesting thing. Nu Skin was alleged to have been a pyramid, and that their distributors were making earnings representations and claims about the products. Melaleuca was alleged to have the same exact thing during the same period of time. So you understand, the allegations of Nu Skin and the allegations to Melaleuca in 1990 from the Attorney General of Michigan were literally the exact same thing. I had the documents right in my hand, black and white. Here's why you need an experienced, proven management team. Here's the result. Nu Skin said, well, wait a second. Our distributors, that's not under our control. You need to go after our distributors. Our distributors are independent contractors. They can say and do whatever they want. And our CEO, that's what Nu Skin said to the Attorney General of Michigan. Our CEO, Frank Vandersloot, said, wait a minute. I need to understand this a little bit more. Can I come find out what you want me to do? He flew to the Attorney General's office in the state of Michigan, heard what they said loudly and clearly, went after the Melaleuca marketing executives that were in violation of the Federal Trade Commission laws, fined a few people, terminated a few people who wouldn't listen after he asked them to change their ways. And you know what the end result was? The end result was within 30 days, Melaleuca's issues with the Attorneys General were completely taken care of within 30 days. And because Nu Skin had an inexperienced management team, their lawsuits went on for years. For years. Today, in the United States of America, Melaleuca does far more in business than Nu Skin ever did in their heyday. Nu Skin still hasn't recovered from the challenges that they had in the early 90s. That's why they do the majority of their business in foreign countries. You want a company that has a proven management team, because these kinds of things will happen. Issues will happen. People will get out of control. So Melaleuca, their management team comes from ADP, Cox Communications, Procter & Gamble, Covey, Cox. Frank was awarded the Entrepreneur of the Year Award by Ernst & Young, and Idaho Business Leader of the Year Award. I mean, this is major, major stuff. You want people who, before they took the helm of an MLM company, had to make tough decisions and steer companies in the right direction. Now, what happens when the company becomes successful? Will the company sell? I'm going to switch my screen here for a second, and hopefully Hopefully everyone can see my screen, but actually let me do it this way. Let me switch my screen here one more time. So now all of you should be seeing my screen, which is I just did this before we got started here. This is a Google search. Kenny Trout. Maybe some of you remember Kenny Trout. Started a company called Excel Telecommunications in the early 90s, right when we started our Melaleuca business, and then took the company public, and then he sold the company. Now listen, I believe in capitalism. Everybody has a right to sell. That's fine. He put over $1 billion in his pocket back then, but you know what happened to the company? You know what happened to all of his MLM distributors? They were left holding an empty bag. They had to start all over again. I know some of those people, and it's been, 20 years later, and many of those people are still searching for their next thing, sadly. Now, Frank owns over 50% of the company, and you follow him. He's become a very, very wealthy person. He could sell our company today for 5 times, 10 times earnings, and he could put a few $1 billion in his pocket. But I know Frank personally, and so does Robin and George, and so do so many other people who are here on this webinar. Nancy Meller, we've been with this company for 30 plus years. We've seen it all, heard it all, been through it all. He's just not ever going to sell the company. This is a guy, seriously, he really believes in the mission statement of enhancing the lives of those we touch by helping people reach their goals. That's the kind of management that you want to put your future in, so you actually have a future. Pretty deep stuff. You're not going to get this during a presentation. I feel badly. This is a prospect of mine, and we were on LinkedIn earlier this week, and she's pleading with me that she wants to start, this company iBoomerang, because she's followed Holton Biggs for years. And when when I heard he was opening a new company, I joined. I hope you will understand. And then you've got other companies like Viseo. And if you do a little bit of digging, now listen, maybe these companies will be the next multi-billion-dollar superstar future, Bob. I don't think so. If you research the people that are running the companies, what you'll find is they have a history of starting companies and stopping companies and putting a lot of money in their pocket and moving on to start other companies. Why in the world would you follow somebody who would do that? I don't know. Maybe for some people that's a good recipe. For me, it just doesn't make any sense. And this has been floating around. I want to thank Laura Windsor. She was the first person to send this in my direction. And then, it's been floating around on the internet. I'm not trying to promote the demise of any company, but you want to know why we're not like an MLM company? You should be aware. The Federal Trade Commission has been sending out letters to companies listed below for health and earnings claims. doTERRA, Pruvit, Total Life, I don't know what Tranit is, Modere, Arbonne. For earnings claims, Ideal Life, It Works. This company is also itself warned to stop marketing earnings claims. Rodan & Fields, health claims, Zurvita, which just bought out Zango, which before that bought out a different company. It's mind-numbing. And then Gretchen Weinzimmer sent me the full complete list. There's so many companies at the FTC, some MLM companies, some not MLM companies. I don't have all of them, but let me share with you. This is a letter that was just recently sent on April the 24th to Modere from the Federal Trade Commission. Now, if I got a letter from the Federal Trade Commission, I might be a little bit scared, worried, concerned. The FTC staff has reviewed social media posts made by Modere Inc. business opportunity participants or representatives that unlawfully advertise that certain products treat or prevent the coronavirus and misrepresent the consumers who become Modere business opportunity participants are likely to earn a substantial income. Some examples of coronavirus prevention or treatment claims made by your business opportunity participants or representatives include, and it goes on, the Modere solution, some examples of earning claims. We've been so blessed as 7-figure earners, and we're here to help you achieve your financial income or time freedom goals. The timing for you to get involved with an online business is second to none, guys. Now, this is a letter from the Federal Trade Commission to Modere, and it doesn't stop there. It's unlawful under FTC Act 15 U.S.C. to advertise that a product can prevent, treat, care, just blah, blah, blah. Additionally, representations about a business opportunity, including earnings claims, violate section blah, blah, if they are false, misleading, or unsubstantiated and material to consumers. You are responsible for the claims of your business opportunity participants and representatives. So I'm reading this to you, and I feel like I'm going back in time all over again to what I went through in 1990 when my business opportunity fell apart because the people running it didn't know what they were doing. And literally hundreds of thousands of people's lives, their futures changed just like this. Now, I'm not saying that Modere is going out of business. They were asked to reply within 48 hours. And by the way, it wasn't, Gretchen sent me over the letters to Ideal Life, It Works, Modere, doTERRA. I didn't want to post all of them here for you guys. But here's the thing. Here's the point I'm trying to make. Because we have a management team that's run by a Fortune 500 business. I sent this to Lewis. I said, Lewis, this is being circulated. And he says, yep. By the way, if you don't know who Lewis is, he's the head of our Melaleuca compliance. Yep. They are coming down, clamping down. That's why we work so hard to stay out of that bucket. So, folks, if you want to know why you are not allowed to make earnings claims online like they allow you to do in Modere, if you want to know why you're not allowed to post social media stuff like they let you do in Ideal Life, if you want to know why you can't do what they do in Prove It, why you can't do what they do in Arbonne, here's why. Because we want you to have a business that lasts a lifetime. And I think that that's reason good enough. So, number 4, we have proprietary and consumable products. What does that mean? It means that we have a product like Soluguard Botanical, a product that nobody else on the planet can manufacture or get their hands on except for those that are Melaleuca customers. This product, by the way, has been in our product portfolio for those of you who are brand new since 2006. I have it sitting on my desk because every time I do a presentation, I mentioned what it says on the back of the bottle. And if you got this email from Hank Toon, it's a pretty wild email that there's a short list of 350 companies that are allowed to say that their products are effective against the coronavirus when used as directed. But ours is unique because it doesn't have chlorine, bleach, or any of the quants or things that cause, human beings to have problems, and that what we can say about it. So we have products like that. We have products that are manufactured by this company that are unique. We have products that are patented, proprietary, green, safe. They're the best products on the planet, but they are consumable. They're consumable items. I was talking to a high school friend of mine earlier before I got on this call, and I'm talking to him about the Melaleuca business. And I said, Jeff, this works because you're just buying what you would buy from the store. He's like, yeah. He says, I was just driving up and down my street, and some people's garage doors were open, and I saw inside of their garages all of the products that they had that they use. I said, that's exactly why this works, because they're consumable in nature. People buy them and use them month after month after month after month after month. This is anyway money. I'm spending the money anyway. It's not new money. It's not money spent on luxury items. It's just consumption. These are products that are competitively priced. So you might stop me right there. And you might say, well, there are other companies that sell coffee, and there are. There are other companies that sell essential oils, and there are. There's other companies that sell laundry detergent, and there are. Well, let's just examine that for a second.